Hello? More than 850 events across the world. We are part of that global statement today that says, as humans, we want real action on climate change. It is time governments got serious and delivered what the scientists are telling us we need to do. That's what today is all about, and that's why we're all here, and I'm really proud to join you all the way from Australia.
Yeah!
We had more than 50 events in Australia today because of course it's 9 hours ahead of here, and they've already happened, including sailing a tall ship through the middle of Sydney Harbour, calling with huge sails on it, calling for climate action. They really made a strong statement down in Sydney this morning, and it's great to see this happening across the world, thanks to 350.org.
Yeah!
Unfortunately, it's not all good news from Australia. I don't know if any of you have been reading the press, but there's been a lot going on down there, and we are facing a real struggle to tackle climate change and the causes of it, especially the fossil fuel industry. We have just seen our federal government fall. The Prime Minister was sacked for attempting to introduce what admittedly was a very tepid, yet nonetheless a climate policy. The ultra-conservatives in the government actually rolled our Prime Minister. He got sacked, and they have now said they will not be taking any further action on climate change. Our new Prime Minister is perhaps most famous for coming into Parliament with a lump of coal and holding it up and demonstrating and saying how good it was for humanity. This is the level of debate that we are seeing in our federal parliament in Australia. It is deeply distressing and a challenge that all the activists in Australia are fighting hard to try and overcome. In Australia at the moment, we are also fighting to stop the new Adani coal mine. This is one of the largest coal mines in the world. To give you a sense of the scale of it, at full development, the actual mine itself will be the size of the city of Paris. It's situated in Queensland, just inland from the Great Barrier Reef. And if the mine is fully developed, that mine alone will account for 3% of the entire global carbon budget if we're going to stay under 2 degrees Celsius. This is the sort of development we don't need. It's the sort of development we have to stop. This development, unfortunately, is being given billions of dollars of subsidies by the Australian government. This is the wrong direction. We need to stand up against proposals like this and make sure we stop the Adani coal mine in its tracks. In terms of climate impacts, Australia is one of those countries that's at the front line. Right now, or just a couple of weeks ago, the bushfire season was declared on the 1st of August. Now in the southern hemisphere that is winter still. There is still 1 month of winter to go, and they declared the start of bushfire season across vast swathes of Australia because of the extreme heat that's been going on, the lack of rainfall and the high fuel load means that we are facing a bushfire danger that early in the season in a most unprecedented and extraordinary way. So there is plenty of bad stuff happening in Australia, but there's also plenty of good things. As I said, there was more than 50 events across Australia today. There are activists working hard to try and turn around policy in Australia. Australians understand this. We have a massive solar rollout going on at the moment. People across the country are installing solar in their own homes because they know it will make a difference for the climate. It's an action they can take, and there is the most extraordinary amount of solar installation happening in the country. So on that side of things, things are good. The other thing I can report is the jurisdiction in which I'm the Minister. We are committed to climate action. We have committed to being 100% renewable electricity by 2020. In just 18 months' time, we've signed the contracts, the wind farms are being built at the moment, the solar is being installed, and in 18 months' time, our city of 400,000 people will be powered 100% by renewable electricity. That'll also cut our greenhouse emissions by 40% below 1990 levels. And I guess we want to tell a story that it's possible. It is possible to do this. We are proof positive of what can be done if you set your mind to it. If you listen to the climate science, you believe what we're being told we need to do, you get stuck in, you make the decision, and you go forward and you get it done. And that's what's possible, 100% renewable electricity in 18 months' time. That's what we're calling for all governments around the world to do. is to take serious decisions, get focused, get on and do the job on all of our behalves and save this planet from the worst excesses of climate change.